Stop the Violence activists and active members in the community. Joby and his wife, Jazzmine Jones, are joining us today in the CMAC television studio. They've stopped by to talk about Stop the Violence, what they have going in the city, and so much more. And we'd like to thank them for stopping by today. Hi, guys.
How you doing?
Good, thank you. Now, Joby and his wife, Jazzmine, are the founders of Stop the Violence Fresno, and they do many things in the community, many outreach events for the community, food giveaways. They hold prayer meetings. They're over in West Fresno at the Sunset Center doing many giveaways over there as well. They're going to talk to us about some great things and share some great things with us today. We're going to start with Joby, and he's going to talk to us about how Stop the Violence Fresno came about and much more. So let's start off by talking about what motivated you to do Stop the Violence.
Well, I used to gangbang. That was made many mistakes. Taught a lot of people the wrong stuff. So a couple years ago, I lost my brother to gang violence. Me myself, I was shot 8 times. So this is personal. You know what I mean? I know what it feels like to lose somebody. I know what it feels like when you almost lose your life. I know the anger, the frustration, and the pain that goes along with this. So people were dying a couple years ago, and it was left and right. And then they was like 30 shootings in 28 days. And that didn't sit right with me. I'm like, well, we got to do something. And what really hits home with me is that it can't be somebody on the outside. I always feel it has to come from us. Because if it comes from us, then everybody else will know that, hold on, this is serious, because we were the ones out there doing this dirt. We was a part of the problem. Now to turn around and try to change the problem, I think that hits home with a lot of people even more. So I was like, man, well, I need something. You know, I prayed God, asked the Lord first, because I just don't just run out there and do stuff. I'm like, Lord, well, I need something that's going to catch everybody's attention to where I can minister to them without them feeling being like I'm preaching to them. You know, some people don't like that.
Right.
So I was like, stop the violence. So then I ran over to Myrick's shop, and I was like, Myrick, well, I want to make these shirts. I need the right design and everything. So we started looking on the screen, and I seen it right there, Stop the Violence Fresno, made the shirt, and from there it just went boom. So I'm like, yeah, so I'm like, so now we can't just start with the shirt. Now, since it went like this, we really have to do something with it. So then we started doing the block parties, and then I started hooking up with other community leaders and people in the community who want to help out, which was Brian King and the Street Saints and stuff like that. And from there, I started recruiting people who really have a loss. You know, Aaron Foster, he lost his son. A few other guys who really understand what it feels like to lose somebody and not come them back. So everything we do, it comes from the heart. You know what I mean? We just want to make sure that these kids get it, that they're on the wrong track. And the reason they're on the wrong track because we showed them the wrong track. So now it's like righting some wrongs, making amends, you know what I mean? And the blessing is to see guys like us out there in the community trying to make a difference, because you know, we was part of the problem. Now we're trying to turn around and fix it.
Right, I hear that.
So
Jazzmine Jones is the wife of Joby Jones, and she stands by his side firmly, supporting him and also helping direct the Stop the Violence movement. And she's going to talk about her role. And Jazzmine, we want to know what your role is with Stop the Violence and standing behind such a man with a great vision.
That's my role. I see the vision. I understand the vision. You know, growing up, I say 6th grade was probably the earliest that I had an interaction or my first encounter with someone being killed to violence. And that really bothered me, you know, growing up wondering, okay, well, what happened? You know, this young man was really, really just outgoing, and he went to visit his mother over the Christmas vacation and never came back. You know, and it was devastating how he just was gone. You know what I mean? And ever since then, you know, when we were younger, the violence was a sprinkle, you know, every maybe once or twice a year. Now it's horrible. You know, and when he told me, you know, we have to do something about it, I was all for it. I've always wanted to give back to the community, but sometimes we never know how. Right. So that's my role.
This is your way.
Yes.
yeah, she do a lot of the stuff, hooking the meetings up, making sure contact is right, calling certain people. So she got some back, and it's good to have someone at your side while you going through what you do.
Y'all like a modern day Martin and Coretta. I love the movement. Let's talk about, I want to talk a little bit about marriage, because you guys are married and you're doing this together. And I kind of want to see what it's like from a woman's point of view, because I'm also married to a man who is in many things and is involved in the community with movements and positivity. But as a woman, as a wife, how do you stand firm and support his vision while trying to support your own or fulfill your own vision as a woman?
Well, I'm a firm believer in the fact that the man is the head of the household. So if I help him to stay grounded, then I can fulfill my goals and my vision. And you know, what's powerful and what's inspiring is I adore his vision. So me being a part of that is my vision too. You know, and I can make sure my goals, or try to see how my goals intertwine. And that's the blessing. You know, he comes home and he brings home that frustration because he's, you know, talking to a young man, or he's talking to a young woman, because he's, you know, he's active in the community, especially at Gaston Middle School. So when he brings that frustration home, I don't really let him dwell in it. I pray him out of it. And that's our role, is to be the help.
Right. That's good. I like that. I want to talk about Sunset Center in West Fresno and what you guys have going over there. Joby, explain to us what takes place at Sunset Center.
Well, we got a lot of stuff going on. Sundays we have church there. We have family development that we're going through right now as a team. People come in there and teach us on how to keep families in order and come on certain goals. We have after-school programs for the kids. We have the summer youth program during the summer.
Food giveaways.
Food giveaways on the weekends. So next week we have a community meeting. So we just try to use it, I mean, because it's for the community.
Right.
So we're going to do as much as we can in this community center until, you know, either it fulfills its usage, or God gives us another one, or whatever. But I mean, that's what it's there for. It's there for the kids and the people in the community to come in there and say, look, this belongs to us. We can come in here and do what we got to do. If that's what the center is there for, it's there for the people in the community. So they should be able to go in there and do what they want to do. We trying to get movie nights there. You know, we have Bible studies on Thursdays. So we gonna use it to the full capabilities. And I think we just got a 3-year extension on it or something like that. So we are able to be there. I mean,
and it's a blessing.
It is. And when somebody gives you the keys and say, hey, do what you got to do.
And we doing
it. God opened the door. You know what I mean? So, and I don't think he gave us that center for us not to use it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I tell everybody, man, come on over here, come on over here, come on over here. So we can do stuff with the kids. It's connected to Sunset School. So it's a basketball playground right there. It's a football field right there. So you need somewhere to go, just come right here.
That's what's up. I like that. Go ahead.
Can you imagine, as a child, I used to beg to go to Sunset Center because we lived in that community all my life. You know what I mean? From birth until I graduated. And then to turn around and be there.
Years later.
And see the parents bringing their children. And then there is more parents bringing in their children now that we're there because they see a familiar face. You know what I mean? Now they know they can trust it. And that's the blessing.
And this is only the beginning.
Absolutely.
I'm excited to see what you guys are going to grow into within the next couple of years or year, because something like this has been a long time coming. It's been like so needed in the community for somebody just to step up and just take position and just do it. Because you have a lot of people who talk about doing things, but they don't have the strong desire, or they don't have the right person behind them pushing them, you know, in the back and saying, go, go, and we'll help you. But I'm so glad to see you guys stand up and take your rightful position and do this. It's so needed in the community. And like Jazzmine said, I grew up over there as well. That was my first summer job was at the Sunset. I was bagging them lunches, and that was me and my sister, that was our first job at Sunset Center. So I'm just glad to see somebody in the community that's just hungry for change.
Because, well, I'm a firm believer in if we don't do it, then it ain't gonna get done.
Right.
I mean, because we know what the kid's going through.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm like, if God did this for me,
Right.
I'd be wrong not to go back and do it for them. You know what I mean? The grace he gave me, the love he gave me, our kids need that.
They do.
Our kids need somebody to come in there and say, look, I'm gonna help you through this. You know what I mean? And if you ain't got nowhere to go, you can always come here.
Right.
And too many places, they shut the door. You know what I mean? Our doors is open, man. So like I tell them, our door is open. So if you need us, call us, let us know, and we'll be there. I mean, that's what it's about.
The civil rights leader, John Lewis, he was here. And he kind of like set the tone for us because he was saying how people don't want to be in the way, but people need to be in the way, and that's us. We in the way, and we're in a way in a positive way. You know what I mean? We're trying to bring back the love and the unity in Fresno. Fresno was a place where you can brag about, where you can talk about all these positive and wonderful things. And now, we just got a lot of work to do.
Yeah. We need like a million more of you guys, like you two, to stand out there. There's so many things that we see in the bigger cities, DC, Atlanta. They have all these different programs and all these resources that people can grab a hold of. And somebody's finally starting to stand up and bring that here because we need it so much, and we're so thankful. And I want to share with the viewers, if they want to get a hold of you guys or want to learn more about Stop the Violence, where they can go to.
StopTheViolence.com. We have a Facebook page, Stop the Violence Fresno, and as well as the website, StopTheViolenceFresno.com.
Okay.
And they can call.
Yeah, you can call us. I mean, 519-5952, that's my number.
579-4811 is mine.
Okay. Well, you guys heard it. If you guys want to learn more about Stop the Violence Fresno with Joby and his wife, Jazzmine Jones, the information is available on the screen. Connect with these great people. Be a part of change. Be a part of a great movement. And there is much more to come on Frankie and Ro in just a second.
Thank you.